κεράσεις μαχαίρια.
In the actual academic field, the Troika, the institutions, at the European level, but also the level of the IMF, they continue to actually drive these policies, even though they themselves have realized that they are not working. So there is nothing technical or economic in their arguments, because they do not work. The only reason why they are driving these policies is political. For instance, if you insist on cutting pensions, on raising VAT, and basically bullying a whole economy into achieving a primary surplus that even Germany couldn't achieve, possibly, over the next 5, 6, 7 years. It's impossible. That is just bullying. That has nothing to do with our economics is better than yours. So what we're seeing is, again, not just a battle between economic ideologies. It's not just a question of technicalities. The fact that the heads of government of the other Eurozone member states and a couple of other EU member states, looking at the UK here, have actually rejected the concessions that the Tsipras government was willing to make. And they went a long way. And you can be very critical of that, but there were a lot of concessions and they were still being rejected. And most of all, in such a contemptuous manner, in such a humiliating manner. It's basically just political strategy. In particular, the reaction to the announcement of the referendum just showed that this is about a battle of the elites against any alternative progressive politics. And, mind you, they are showing a remarkable lack in any understanding of history. As the previous speaker pointed out, this is not a new process. Actually, there's been so many cases before where people and countries had to undergo these structural adjustments. We all know of that. I mean, if you're my age and older. Structural adjustment in the 80s and even still in the 90s and early 2000s took place a lot around the globe. It's just that we didn't have it in Europe because we thought we are safe or, better. So any kind of post-colonial understanding was lacking there. But processes where adjustment was basically being pushed on wages, on labor rights, on social protection, they're nothing new. People have been fighting with these, and governments have been ignoring people for many, many years. So, in an academic world, we can tell you about the disastrous results in many African countries, in many Asian countries, in many Latin American countries, and still the institutions are not willing to see that. Europe, and to some extent maybe the EU, is supposed to bring people together. You're supposed to have an internationalist agenda, and all of that is lacking. Now that's not to say that the Greek economy is not in dire need of reform, we all know that. But, as the previous speaker also pointed out, it will just take time to get all these investments going. You don't just change the course of a whole economy within a couple of months. So the industrial policy, tax system, corruption, and the fact that the country is hemorrhaging its brightest and youngest people as we speak. I mean, just look at all the Greeks who are here, who would find it very, very difficult to actually get the same level of wages, for instance, in their own country. That is a tragedy. And really, you don't have to fully agree with the Tsipras government. You don't. Because they have made strategical errors. And they could have handled the whole situation a lot better, let's face it. I think there's also a bit of, gender aspects in there. Maybe if they'd had a few...
Ο κόσμος είναι αυτός που σαν στο φεγγάρι να βρει αλήθεια στο κενό. Τι κόσμος είναι αυτός που πάει στο φεγγάρι και τα παιδιά του πολέμα. Ουρανέ, κάθισε μαζί μας, κάτσε να ακούσεις μια παινιά. Φίλε παλιέ, μην προσπαθήσεις να μας κεράσεις μαχαίρια. γυρίζει συνεχώς. Τι κόσμος είναι αυτός που πλημμυρίζει δάκρυ, τι δακρυσμένος ουρανός.